He's founder of VIP Jets, an accomplished pilot, a pioneer of Thailand's inbound tourism industry and Asian trails. You might even see him on his bike touring around the Swiss Alps or rural Thailand. I'm with Captain Luzi Matzig. We're about to get on his VIP jet, and you are watching Trends. Oh my goodness, I'm in a private jet. Captain Matzig, can you tell us about the history of VIP jets?
Well, after I made some money at Asian Trails, I decided to buy an aircraft because it was always my dream of flying a jet. So Cessna came out with this new Citation Mustang, which was relatively cheap, cost $3.5 million.
Oh my goodness.
Which is, for private jet, it's not expensive. You know, private jets go up to $70-80 million. So then I went for training in the USA, bought the plane and flew it home from America via Europe to here.
And you bought this as a hobby?
Correct. I just thought, well, it's good. For Asian Trails, we have offices all around Asia. So every month or two, I could go and visit some offices and go on some holiday trips, etc., etc. So I did this for a while. And then my wife said, hey, you're spending too much money. So then I said, so what? So a friend of hers said, medical evacuation, air ambulance, is a good business, a lot of demand. So we decided to, apply for commercial licenses, operating permits and so on. And half a year later, we had this Medivac equipment. We had recruited some medical teams, doctors, nurses, to go and fly sick passengers to good hospitals in Thailand. Now the main clientele is from Cambodia, because in Cambodia they don't have very good hospitals. So they mostly come to either Thailand or Singapore for treatment.
So is Medivac still the largest segment of your market, or are you also serving the high net worth individuals on leisure and business travel?
Yes, we serve all three markets. Medivac is, depending on the months, 50-60%. Then holiday travel, rich people who can afford to rent a private jet, is maybe 30-40%. And another 10% private businessmen. The funny thing is, say in Indonesia and in Malaysia, every rich businessman has his own jet. But in Thailand, only the very, very rich have their own aircraft, and the others, they fly commercial aircraft. So there is not too much of a commercial jet market for businessmen in Thailand.
Great. So you're really cornering the market in some ways, aren't you?
Yes. But I have competitors. We have 2 or 3 competitors who have larger aircraft. So here we can only take 4 passengers. If we have a request for 5, 6, 10 people, we work with our friendly competitors.
You just walked me around your back of house operations at the airport here. It's mammoth, it's large for one jet. Is it a profitable business?
In the past, we never made any money, but it helped to cover the cost. Now this year, after COVID, was a good year. So this is the first year where we really made some money.
Now, a historic flashback, I'm going to mention a year, 1971. That was important for Thailand, and I think that it's also important for Luzi Matzig. Why?
Well, I was getting bored at Swissair in Zurich, where I had to work in cargo. So I decided to look for a job anywhere else on earth. And there was an opening for a travel agency manager in Thailand. So I applied and came here for 2-3 years. And then another 3 years and another 3 years. And finally I said, okay, this is the place, I stay here. And then I stayed 28 years with DTAM, my first company. And after that, in 1999, I set up Asian Trails. And we've grown ever since. We have now 600 staff in 10 different countries, and it works pretty well.
So, as Asian Trails, you set up the company on the very auspicious date, 9/9/1999, which is auspicious for the Thais. The company's been immensely successful. What do you see for 2024, the top destinations that people are traveling to in Southeast Asia?
Okay, I think the most popular one now is Indonesia. Indonesia is really a hot new destination. Many places, not only Bali, many of the islands, Sumatra, Java, Lombok, many places, with Bali of course still being the main destination. Number 2 I think is Thailand, because Thailand made a good comeback. And there of course, first of all, beach destinations all over. Samui, Phuket, Pattaya, Hua Hin, everywhere. But we see also new beach destinations coming up, like for example, Koh Yao Noi. You see.
Is there accommodation there?
Yeah, we have actually 2 of our own hotels on Koh Yao Noi. One is called the Treehouse Villas, which is 5-star and no children allowed, only for adults, so there's no noise. And the other one is a 4-star hotel called the Paradise Koh Yao.
Is there an airport there, or how do you get there?
No, we have 5 boats for shuttle transfers from Phuket to the island, about 50 minutes.
Okay, so I fly to Phuket,
Yes.
transfer to a pier, get on your private boats, and then arrive at the island, and then I'm staying at your resort.
Correct. You could also fly to Krabi. From Krabi it's 20 minutes by boat, from Phuket about 50.
How's the business for the hotels? I'm sort of diverting from our script of questions I was going to ask, because, you know, pre-COVID, a lot of people were talking about over-tourism, but actually it wasn't over-tourism, it was bad tourism. There was so much tourism in the wrong destinations, and Thailand's got such a huge capacity, and that tourism volume wasn't going out to all the parts of Thailand. Is there good business for your hotels on this island?
Yes, I must say it's very good. You see, Phuket is a mass tourism destination. I mean, we don't like to say that, but it is a fact.
Yeah.
There are thousands and thousands of Russians there. Some behave nicely, some are not so popular. So individual tourists slowly but surely like to go to other places nearby, like all the islands, or Khao Lak, or anywhere nearby. So we have a very high occupancy.
And
Well.
what's the average length of stay?
For us, it depends. Europeans, 10 days, 14 days. But the Asians average 3 nights. So it depends where they come from. We also have quite a bit of Americans. They stay average a week.
So the hot destinations for 2024, Indonesia, Thailand, and the third one?
The third one would be Vietnam. Vietnam is really doing well. Funny enough, also for Indian visitors.
Really?
Very popular with Indian visitors. Direct flights from Bombay, from Delhi, from everywhere, from Hyderabad to Da Nang and Hue and Saigon and Hanoi. Yes.
I'm honoured and privileged to be in the cockpit with you. I've never been in this VIP jet. It's a first for me. You're a legend in the tourism industry. Everybody knows you. But I want you to share with us and the audience a secret, something we might not know about you?
There's no real secret. You just have to be, persistent what you do. Let's say you plan an itinerary to go somewhere. Now, first of all, when a request comes in, you have to respond. I mean, many people think, oh, this is only in 6 months, it's not urgent. No, you respond immediately. Never mind if you can't give them an answer, but say, okay, we received your request, we are working on it. And then you must really know your product. You can't just sit in Bangkok the whole year and think, okay, I do a new trekking tour in northern Thailand. You have to actually go and survey the place and experience the product, maybe make some changes, and only then can you provide a good product to the client. And then, of course, you have to watch the costs. You can't just take a subcontractor who does trekking tours or biking tours or whatever you do and think, okay, I book it with this guy and then we'll be all right. The best is to do it yourself. Experience it, test it, and then sell it. And then, of course, the most important are the guides. You have to train the guides. And the most important thing is attitude. The guides have to make the clients happy.
That's true, they're the front line of your business, aren't they?
And make them feel that they're welcome. Now, Thai guides in general are pretty good. But in Asia, I find the best guides are the Myanmar guides. Because they're still very, very motivated, because there's little tourism in Myanmar. So they really care. Also, Cambodia, I must say, they do a very good job.
Is there still a little bit of tourism going into Myanmar at the moment, given the troubles that the country's facing?
There's very little. We had some group, some specialist group who insisted to go there.
You have an office there, don't you?
We have four offices still in Myanmar, in Yangon, in Mandalay, in Pagan, and in Inlelek. But of course, they don't have much to do. So what we do, we let them do data input for all the other offices. Say China is contracting new hotels and they don't have the time to input the data. We send it to Myanmar, say, input this. Okay, and of course we credit them for their work, so they don't totally lose in their operations. They have something to do.
We've been talking about flying. We've been talking about jumping on a boat and going to your hotels on this wonderful island. 2 wheels. Somebody might see you biking around the Swiss Alps or rural Thailand. Is biking a passion of yours?
Somehow I really started to like biking, driving the big bikes.
Yes.
So we do 3-4 big bike tours a year. Like earlier this year, we did 8 days around Cambodia. That was a great tour, but we start in Bangkok and return to Bangkok.
Is this just your personal hobby, or are people able to join? Like, is it you and your mates that go off and... Yeah, it is, yeah.
Usually it's friends from all over Thailand. Sometimes we rent bikes, but mostly it's their own bikes, and we make the tour. So in February this year, we went to Cambodia. Then in summer, we went to the Dolomite Mountains in northern Italy, which is great scenery and lots of mountain passes. Now the next trip is in 10 days. On 8 December till the 13th, we start in Chiang Mai and we go around northern Laos.
Yes.
So that will be a nice trip.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think you've covered all of the types of transport basically as your hobbies. Flying, you've got your hotels, getting to there by boats, and then the 2 wheels. Is there anything else? Yes, I think there is. Because years and years ago, I met you, and in an evening we played cards.
Oh, okay. Once a month, we have this Swiss mafia playing the Gukitala card game. This we do.
Is that in Bangkok?
Yeah, we have a club in Bangkok, one in Switzerland, and one in Hong Kong.
Okay, Gugitalo.
Gukitala. So we've been doing this for 40 years. Hard to believe, but actually true. So I'll be the host of the next game, and that will be Gukitala game number 394. Can you imagine? You do 1 month, and now we're almost 400. So, yeah.
And a fantastic way of reconnecting with friends.
Of course, yes. You always hear the latest news from the hotel business, from the tourism business, airline. Yeah, it's a good thing, and it keeps you together as friends.
I can see flight control waving at us. They're asking us to take off. Where are you going to take me?
Wherever you wish to go, we have 3 hours of fuel.
I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Actually, I do. I'll be back next Friday for another episode of Trends. See you next week.